India secured their spot in the last four of the Asia Cup with a convincing 10-wicket victory over Nepal in a rain-affected match last Saturday. Despite multiple interruptions due to incessant rains, India successfully chased down a revised target of 145 runs in 23 overs as per the Duckworth-Lewis method. Nepal had initially posted a total of 230 runs in the first innings. India is now getting to face arch rivals Pakistan for the second time in the tournament on Sunday. Following the washout, their first encounter on September 2. The rain threatened to dampen the cricketing action, but thanks to the diligent ground staff, the game went ahead in the second part of the match. The overs were reduced to 23 and India had to score 145 runs. Rohit and Gill already amassed 17 runs in just 13 deliveries when rain halted play after the delay. They cautiously built their innings before launching an aggressive attack. Rohit reached his half-century after facing 38 deliveries, while Ging achieved his 50 in 47 balls. Both exhibited outstanding performance, leading India to the victory with 17 balls to spare. Nepal put in a valiant effort, but India proved too strong for them. In the cricketing world, anticipation is building on the Afghanistan and Sri Lanka while they prepare for the clash of the thrilling encounter, which is supposed to be a high-scoring match. Remember, if Afghanistan needs to go up the order, they have to score massively and win by a big margin. But that's not all, not just today. We also have a very important team discussion today where we will have the team selection for the World Cup, and there'll be a lot of debates, chatter, everything around going around it. We have two of the eminent panelists with us. One is David Brooks. He's the former Channel 4 Director for Cricket, who joins us straight from London, and Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, Virat Kohli's childhood coach and a Dronacharya awardee. But first, I'd like to go to David Brooks. David, if you can hear us from London, good morning. I'd like to ask you, how is it that the entire tournament is looking from your perspective? What are your thoughts onto it, and especially the match India versus Nepal, which seemed to be an inconsequential but a significant win put India? Your thoughts onto it, David?
Well, yes, it may have been inconsequential, but there was a lot to like about the way that India performed, notably the two opening bats, and good to see Nepal, improving their cricket, and so a lot to like about the game. Some concerns for India may be Mohammad Siraj was expensive, wasn't he? And number of catches went down. Ishan Kishan, Virat Kohli, I think, put one down. So some things to learn, but India look in pretty good form and in good shape for the rest of this tournament.
Well, David, very interesting point you made today. Let's move on our focus to Mr. Rajkumar Sharma. Sir, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Were you happy with the way things turned out yesterday? 230 was a respectful score coming from Nepal against the Indian seamers. Also, you must realize that there was a lack of teeth and the punch and the bite from the Indian bowlers. Do you believe that, sir? Your views?
Sunil, there was a lot of fault from our fielders also. We missed three very simple chances in first 4 overs. That was a major, mistake India did. And all the 3 catches were simple catches which should have been taken. And, if those catches India would have taken, the course of match would have been different. Because that would have put a lot of pressure on Nepal's middle order. And they would have, when they would have to face Indian fast bowlers. And Shami was bowling superbly. Siraj was a bit expensive later, but he was bowling very well initially. So there was nothing to worry much. But yes, Indian fielding was lacking, and India should have fielded better, and especially their catching was not up to the mark.
Sir,
not up to the mark.
Indian team is supposed to be one of the fittest and the most agile on the field. They cut their twos into ones and they take some of the outstanding catches. You're very critical of the fielding yesterday. would you pick up the phone and say something, any advice to Virat, considering he missed out on one of the catches?
Yeah, I mean, he's also part of the team, and being a senior member, it was not expected from him also. But overall, as a team, we did do well. So I think it happens, Sunil, when you are playing against a weak team. Nothing against Nepal, but sometimes you get bit relaxed, you're not concentrating that much, and that showed, in the Indian approach. That is why they missed three simple chances, which if you lose against any good team, that can create a lot of problems for the match.
Well, very interesting point, sir, that the lack of motivation at sometimes gets even to a big player like Virat or one of the best fielders, agile bodies in the world. Again, we'll shift our focus to David Brooks. David, if you can hear us, India now qualifies and plays Super 4 with Pakistan on the 10th of September. What are your take onto it? And then I would roll back the years for Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, because he's played in 1987 against Pakistan with seaming attack. And I'd like him to take our viewers through how is it like playing Pakistan, even in a first-class match, how, right. But first, let's go on to David Brooks, who's joined us from London. It's an inconsequential match, you thought, but again, now we shift our focus to Pakistan. Your views on this match?
I can feel the anticipation for Sunday's match up between India and Pakistan. Let's hope the weather doesn't interfere this time. Hard to predict the outcome. The two teams perhaps more closely matched than they've been for a long time. I still would back India to win that. Just because they've played that much more cricket, there's that much more experience in the team. We saw in the half of the game that did take place last week that India have got the depth to be able to recover even if they lose their top order cheaply. I imagine the top order will be looking to really fire. And I think the key will be to see that opening spell from Shaheen Afridi off. He's most dangerous in his opening spell, not so effective when he comes back for a second or third spell. So see Shaheen Afridi off would be my guidance to the India team. Not that they need it. With the experience in their lineup, I'm looking for a big performance from Virat Kohli. And, Jadeja continues to deliver, doesn't he? So, yeah, it should be a close fought game, but I'm still going to be backing India to win that.
Well, very interesting point you made, David. Now, let's go back to Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, if he can hear us. So, your memories of playing against Pakistan, even in the first-class match, or how are they when they come back again, considering they have their tails up with their fast pace, their speed, their seam, their swing, everything put together? Do you think India will be on a back foot when they face on Pakistan on Sunday? Say your views.
Not exactly, Sunil. India won't be on the back foot, but they have to be cautious. They need to play better cricket what they did against Pakistan in the last match. India has been doing very well against them. If you see in the past 5-6 matches, we have always beaten Pakistan. But what happened in the last game, we lost early wickets, and that put a lot of pressure on the Indian team. But India has to be slightly careful now against Afridi, especially that we don't lose early wickets, because he's an attacking bowler. And all the three bowlers, I must say, Pakistan has superb bowling lineup, which they always had since beginning. Pakistan is known for their fast bowling. So India has to be careful in first, power play. I would say first 10 overs, if we don't lose much wickets. So we can always put pressure on Pakistan. And knowing all this, what has happened in the last game, India will be very well prepared to counter those fast bowlers now, and would be better prepared to attack them rather than defending them. And India has got, tremendous potential in the batting with Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill. Top three looks very heavy, and they can face any attack, Pakistani attack. Pakistan-India match is always high tension match, Sunil, and it happened in past also when I was playing against Pakistan. It was a very tense match, India-Pakistan match because every Indian and every Pakistani wants that their country should win. So it is a high voltage game, and whosoever controls their nerves wins the match. And lately we have seen India has done better than Pakistan always.
It's a very interesting point. You reminded of your match. It was 1987, if you believe, and it was at Kotla, if the memory serves right. There was a lot of sledging. There was a lot of turn in the pitch, and there was a lot of stares and glares coming from both sides. Although Imran Khan and Wasim Akram could not play that match, but you still have your memories. Just take us through how intense it becomes from that ground from mid-80s to 2023.
Look, Sunil, as I said, the India-Pakistan match is always a high-tension match, high-voltage drama where fans are, involved emotionally. They are very much involved that India should not lose to Pakistan. After the match or before the match, we are friends. All the cricketers are friends. They party with each other. They have their dinner. They have their lunch together, and they are very friendly with each other because we have got the same culture, and they are very good friends. They are good sports persons, and they both the team respects each other a lot. But when you go inside that boundary line, and there are so much of expectations from their countrymen, then it becomes very tense for the players also at some times.
Well, interesting point. Friends outside the boundary and foes inside it. Well, we go back to another neutral commentator on this particular program, which is David Brooks. David, is Asia Cup helping the Indians or Pakistan to test each other, or is it something becoming a big dress rehearsal before the World Cup? Your views?
Yes, it's pretty much ideal preparation for the ICC World Cup, which follows in October, to be playing 50-over tournament in similar conditions. And it couldn't really ask for any better preparation. It gives India time to really assess the fitness of their squad and to make any fine tuning to that. Conditions will be pretty similar. And at this stage, India hot favourites to be a winning host nation. They're favourites to win the tournament. And I've not seen anything so far in this Asia Cup to dissuade me that they are justifiably favourites. But if you look down the card, as it were, one or two long shots interest me. Bangladesh have been impressive, haven't they? And they would represent interesting outsiders. And Sri Lanka, who knows what sort of team will turn up there. I think the Asian nations will dominate. Australia, obviously, to be feared. England have got that big pool of white ball players now to draw on, but may go into the World Cup undercooked in the 50-over format, as they've been playing mainly short-form cricket for a while.
Well, David makes a very interesting point, but considering you come from the land of hundreds and the T20s, now the focus has suddenly shifted to the 50-over match. Again, for the sake of repeating, is 50 overs format here to stay? David, your views, and then I'd like to go on to Mr. Rajkumar Sharma and talk about an important point, and that is the World Cup team combination. David, 50 overs.
There's always that danger that cricket will feel that it can't support three formats and that 50-over game will be squeezed out with the emphasis on the short form and the test matches. I don't think it's going to happen in the near future. I'm expecting a bumper World Cup, and whenever you get teams competing in the 50-over World Cup, you get huge interest in a resurgence of interest in that format, particularly if India performs strongly. So I think the 50-over format is secure. It's vulnerable, but I think its future is secure at the moment, and I'm expecting the World Cup to underline that. It tests out skills that you normally only see in Test cricket, such as the ability to build an innings, to score a big century. Pretty 30s and 40s are not sufficient in the 50-over competition. It's a much better test. And I think one or two players who only play 20-over cricket will be found out. if you're only used to bowling 4 overs, or if you're only used to scoring a quick cameo 30 or 40, you will be found out when longer innings and sustained spell of bowling are required. So your 50 over format, secure, hoping for a great World Cup to really underline that.
Sir, whatever formats come, whether it's the hundreds or the T20, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, question to you, 50 years is here to stay, but more importantly, sir, the fitness is different as compared to T20. The body regimen, the body, okay, is different. What is your take on the 50 over format? How different is it from T20? Is it a considerable jump or it's just a next level? Sir, your views.
Look, Sunil, since T20 has come, it has become very, very, interesting for players as well as for the, fans also. But I think the one-day cricket has got its own charm, the way you plan your inning, the way, if you see Virat Kohli, starting slowly, then accelerating and making big hundreds. So I think 50 overs cricket has got its own charm, and I would say that it will continue and it should continue, because in T20 format it is sometimes you just are hitting always. You are not respecting the bowler. Here it is totally a different ball game. You need a lot of fitness also. A lot of strategy has to be made, because you would hardly get any chance in T20 cricket to come back. But there are a lot of chance to come back in a 50 over game. So it is more interesting, as a cricket wise, it is very interesting to see that how a batsman builds his inning, or how a bowler set up a batsman to get him out, unlike T20. So I think it is going to remain, and it should be there. It is an integral part of cricket.
Well, very interesting point. It's an integral part of cricket, no matter whatever functions and variations come in for the game of cricket, whether it's your T10 or hundreds. Keep them aside. 50 overs is here to stay. But let's take a step back. Sir, hypothetical situation. You're the chairman of selection committee today. You have to face the media. 2 questions. Who's going to be the wicket keeper here? And ये number 4 पे कौन आएगा sir? ये पहले बताइए. 2 only questions from fans.
Yeah, there are a lot of speculations, like who would be the Indian
So let's
wicket
bite the
keeper.
bullet, sir. We are live and this is a fan segment where they have to seek answers from you. And you've been on a very senior positions. You still head them and you're the insider. Your views, sir.
Listen, Sunil, I think Ishan Kishan has done well for himself to be there, And if they go for KL Rahul, if he is fit, so he can fill in that the other spot, because somehow I'm a big fan of Sanju Samson, but unfortunately he has got less chances. But whatever chances he has got, he hasn't been very, very successful. He has not been very consistent. That is very unfortunate, because I like the way he bats. He looks, he makes it looks very easy. When he's batting, he plays very well. But unfortunately, he has been not very consistent. So I think Ishan Kishan could make as number 1 wicket keeper, and KL Rahul, they can if he's fit, he can also keep the wicket. And looking for number 4. I think Shreyas is the right bet, because he has done so well. And in the past game also, he looked very good, though he got out early and a good catch was taken, But I think he's a proven player at number 4, and I think Shreyas should be continued at number 4.
Sir, is it KL Rahul's gain and Sanju Samson's loss? It's like owner's pride and neighbor's envy. Can we say that?
Yeah, I would feel sorry for Sanju Samson. As I said, I'm a fan of his batting, especially. The way he bats, I really likes his batting. But looking at the combination, sometimes you have to see about the injuries also. KL Rahul, you are not sure whether he is 100% fit because he had some problem. So there is still time left, and I believe if everybody is fit, then it will be a big, dilemma for the selectors to pick 1 or 2 out of these 3.
Well, it's always an interesting point to take that one particular place and move around it, because the team composition is also important, as Sir said. But again, for the Sanju Samson fans, I think what you need to do is go out and pray and hope that he makes the cut. And for as far as Rahul, KL Rahul is confirmed, I think he's just little marginally ahead in that team selection today for the World Cup. Well, that's all we had time for. Thank you, my guest, for joining in. Thank you, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, David Brooks from London.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.